Alright, so kind of want to chill out for a little bit, or even go for a walk, because I got super stoned, pretty anxious, but I want to get this book done, you know. I look dry. I see myself right now. Now I'm looking at it just through the lens, which I like it that way. I don't want to look at myself all the time, you know. What do I do? But it's getting cold. Plus I got super stoned, so now I'm anxious. So I feel cold. I made a song. I should make another one. I'm lonely, baby. It's cold. Smells like shit in my car. But I'm a good person. I just don't want to be a burden, you know. But talking loud. I'll cool off for a second and just chill. I went for an early morning run. So, chapter 11. I'm gonna cool off for a second. Should I read this book? Incorporate and Grow Rich. Incorporate and Grow Rich, how to cut taxes. How to cut, oh shit. How to cut taxes, like, I don't know. We show you how to cut your taxes 70% and protect your assets forever. Section 1. Actually, we'll read the introduction, right? The introduction is, freedom comes from human beings rather than from laws and institutions. Introduction. What is more fundamental in your life? I believe it should be what America was founded upon. It's what we have fought wars for as our God-given right. Yes, it's freedom. When you think about it, it all boils down to freedom to make our own decisions, to call our own shots and do what we want, when we want, the way we want, justly, freely, and peacefully. That's what it really means to be your own person. This book is written to help you achieve freedom. This book is for people who not only want to survive this era of the new millennium, but prosper and have peace of mind about life, income, assets, and the future. It is written for people who are already in business for themselves, which includes the sole proprietors, the 50-50 partners, and the owners of corporations. It's also written for entrepreneurs at heart who are struggling from a downsizing and or have moved from a salary to an hourly wage, the middle manager and former executive who can't find a job, the college graduate who has little opportunity to make it to the top of today's business structure. Today or tomorrow, the professionals, the doctors and nurses, the lawyers, the accountants, the engineers, and the teachers who don't fit or soon won't fit into the evolving systems of the new world economy. This book is also written for the millions of employed people who inside themselves wonder if I too will be out the door and on the road to unemployment soon. Reading the writing on the wall, job security as you once knew it is no more. Now or in the near future, you will have to make your own job security by going into business for yourself, either part-time or full-time. When you do this, you will start making your own job security day by day. You will then start to experience the ultimate value of running your own business, freedom. Being in business for yourself creates financial freedom for you and your family now and in the future. This book will show you how. Wake-up call, Mr. or Madam President. I know this morning when you woke up, before you had even opened your eyes, before you pushed back the covers, before you had your first cup of coffee, the very first thought in your mind was, I've got to have a corporation. I got to be president of my own company. In reality, this business strategy was probably the very last thing you thought about. It's because you have never been taught to be president, to think like a president, or how to create the opportunity to be a president. Did you ever take president making 101 in college? Did you ever take stockholder 404 or CEO builder 511? No, that doesn't surprise me since I've never seen such classes offered. So waking up and thinking, I got to be the president of my own corporation was probably the farthest thing from your mind, this or any other morning. A corporation, a conversation piece. Can you imagine a corporate minute book sitting on your coffee table and somebody coming into your house and asking, what is that? Well, that's a corporation. Isn't it beautiful? See the colorful stock certificates? Feel the weight of the corporate seal? Can you imagine a corporate minute book? Can you hear them call you Mr.? I'm not going to remember that, but it strikes my interest, you know? Corporate minute book. Colorful stock certificates. I don't know what those are. But then it says, feel the weight of the corporate seal. It's just the jargon that they use. You know, anybody who's interested in, like, I guess, financial stuff. Can you hear them call you Mr. or Madam President? Can you hear them call you? Or can you hear them call you Mr. or Madam President? It's not the corporate minute book that is important. It's what the corporation can do for you. As you absorb the information in this book and keep in mind everything we are sharing with you, you will discover how you can get what you want more than anything else. Freedom. Yes, you will get freedom to live the life and lifestyle you want. You will get the peace of mind and lifelong security that you long for, which no one can take away from you. Every technique you encounter within this book, every idea, every thought, every word on every page will show you how to get what you want. As you read on, you find yourself compelled to take advantage of incorporating your business as well as forming another corporation to benefit from dual corporate strategies, or to structure your business activities to maximize the rewards to you while running your business properly, legally, and profitably. Let's imagine the benefits that would be available to you if you were incorporated and running your corporation properly. Let's imagine the benefits that would be available to you if you were incorporated and running your corporation properly. Take benefits. Can you imagine slashing your taxes by 70%? Imagine how you could spend all that money. Imagine tax-deductible cars and tax-deductible educational expenses. Imagine tax-deductible life, health, and automobile insurance. Imagine tax-deductible trips, tax-deductible food, tax-deductible housing, and much more. Being lawsuit-proof. Can you imagine never being sued personally? Imagine how free you would feel. Let's review the Chappaquiddick tragedy. Tragedy. Ted Kennedy drove the car into the river, and Mary Kopechne drowned. Kennedy never had to worry about a lawsuit. He didn't own the car. The car was owned by a trust or other entity separate and apart from him. Kopechne's family received $125,000 from the insurance company. There was never a lawsuit. There was nothing to sue. Kennedy didn't own the car, nor did he have any other professions for anyone to take. All his possessions were, and I'm sure are, controlled at arm's length through various legal entities. I mean, he was the son of Kennedy's, you know? His dad already had that corporation, I would assume. But that's fucked up for the girl that died, you know? But I don't know. But nothing, this is quotes. This book has like little quotes on the side. Shout out to my friends. I hope you guys enjoyed this book, especially the ones that have businesses. But, I mean, it'll sharpen your skills if you guys are already, you know. It's good to have, brokers, broker friends, and also to have the knowledge yourself. And broker friends. And what else was I saying? I don't know. But, so no probate costs. Imagine never having to pay probate costs. Imagine never having to pay inheritance taxes. Okay, so what's probate? What is probate? I should write that down. But imagine never having to pay probate costs. Imagine never having to pay inheritance taxes. Oh yeah, and also it's good to have like a lawyer too. When you have a business, it's good to have a lawyer, a broker, a lawyer. Even when I was thinking today, I was like, man, there should be every family should find it important to have a family doctor. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's an important thing. If you guys are listening, find yourself a family doctor that you trust and you pass down to your kids, and then that'll make that doctor, hopefully he could pass down a gift to somebody he finds. Doctors are like a book I read where was it Siddhartha? I don't know what book it was, but a kid follows somebody, and then he has to become that kind of like a alchemist or something. That was a book I read. So what's probate mean? Imagine never having to pay inheritance taxes. Just imagine being rich or financially independent. Wouldn't you agree this would be truly exhilarating? John Paul Getty understood these principles very well. He was able to transfer $1.3 billion in his estate to his heirs without ever going through probate, which costs alone could have been as much as $650 million in estate taxes. $650 million. John Paul Getty understood these principles very well. He was able to transfer $1.3 billion in his estate to his heirs without ever going through probate, which costs alone could have been as much as $650 million in estate taxes. And it's good to have an accountant too. Having an accountant that you could trust, people that are professional, but you could trust them, Concrete reality, and make sure they're successful too, make sure that they've had success in handling people with money and making them have more money. Concrete reality. You see, there is nothing overly theoretical or abstract about this entire process of planning and doing as the rich do. It's how you put your imagination to work and apply these principles of the rich to your life. You simply need to learn how the rich get rich and do the same thing. What works for the rich will work for you too. The rich people's system. Are you ready to discover the key secrets the rich used to get rich? Now let's just take one principle, slashing your taxes up to 70%. You're probably saying, what does slashing your taxes have to do with helping you get rich? We promise you, when you finish reading this book, you will know exactly what that means. Okay, so did I read this quote on the side? When nothing seems to help, I go and look at a stone cutter, hammering away at his rock, perhaps 100 times without as much as crack showing in it. 100 times without as much as a crack showing in it. Yet at the 101st blow, it will split in two. And I know it was not that blow that did it, but all that had gone before. Do you guys hear that? When nothing seems to help, I go and look at a stone cutter, hammering away at his rock, perhaps 100 times without as much a crack showing in it. Yet at the 101st blow, it will split in two. And I know it was not that blow that did it, but all that had gone before. Jacob Rees. Jacob Rees. Life-changing strategies. What you need is life-changing strategies that will transform the way you think, the way you work, the way you conduct your business, and how much you pay in taxes. You need to understand the get-rich system. This is not a get-rich-quick system, but a strategy of doing business that over time will bring you tremendous and satisfying results. The flaming arrows of challenge. This is not all there is to it. The get-rich system will be challenged. There are challenges looking at every turn of success. These challenges are like flaming arrows ready to strike us at any time. Arrows such as lawsuits, taxes, and probate. Civil lawsuits. There are some unbelievable lawsuits these days, with more than 90 million civil lawsuits filed annually. It's an epidemic of massive proportions in this country. Everyone is familiar with the McDonald's hot coffee spill case, but there are millions of lesser-known cases. What about the school burglar who tried to enter a Los Angeles school by walking along its rooftop on a very dark night? He tripped, fell through an unlit skylight, and injured himself permanently. He receives more than $250,000 up front and $1,200 a month disability compensation for the rest of his life, with a 3% annual cost of living increase. There are thousands and thousands of other such cases. Damn. Damn. You guys heard that? This already makes me want to not even read this book, having all that responsibility, It's like better living as an employee. So it just seems, Divorce and liability. What do you think the foremost civil lawsuit filed in this country is? You're right, it's divorce. Divorce is always lurking out there. Nationwide, the divorce rate is higher than 50%. The repercussions in regard to settlements can be long-reaching and unexpected. Have you ever heard of vicarious liability? According to the law, vicarious liability meaning you are responsible for another's actions. Anyone who has filed a joint tax return with a spouse is vicariously liable for the spouse. If you filed a joint tax return, you are equally liable for that return. Even long after you have received a divorce, you are still liable for 100% of the taxes on the joint tax returns. A joint tax return disaster. A woman had been divorced for more than 4 years. One day there was a knock on her door. Two men greeted her by asking, "Are you Mrs. John Smith?" "Yes," she replied. The men identified themselves as agents for the Internal Revenue Service. In short, they said, "You owe the IRS $212,000. She was horrified. Why, she asked. When she was married, each year she had faithfully and loyally signed a joint tax return with her husband. He was quite liberal with his deductions because he now had no assets. The IRS returned to her. She therefore owed $212,000 to pay the IRS. To pay the IRS, she lost her home and everything she owned." Damn. Joint ownership. Another IRS story. An elderly couple wanted to make sure their son Johnny got everything they had when they passed away. The couple went to a financial planner who advised them to put Johnny's name on all their accounts, and so they did. They put him on their home, bank accounts, savings accounts, stocks, and bonds, and everything else they had. Guess with whom Johnny got in trouble? Yup, the IRS. He owed a gift tax on all the assets he received. To collect it, the IRS took all of Johnny's assets. It didn't matter that his parents' names were on the assets as well. The parents were really indignant, as you can imagine. They took on the IRS and sued them. The case went all the way up through the appellate, APPELLATE channels. The appellate channels in the court upheld the IRS. The parents who had worked hard all their lives and their son lost everything that they had. It was a far-reaching landmark case. Another loss due to joint ownership. So no joint ownership. Another couple of childhood friends started a little business in junior high school. It was a simple business, buying and selling baseball cards. They became experts in the high school. They expanded the business to include many other collectibles, such as comic books, posters, magazines, and the like. After high school, they set up a little storefront and prospered. They each married their high school sweethearts and had children. Each of the families worked in the business. They were such good friends that they often co-signed for one another's loans. Homes, motorhomes, boats, and even jointly bought an airplane. But one of the partners suddenly took off with the woman, a gambler of some reputation. You can guess what took place next, can't you? The partner got the gambling bug too. Gambling debts soon arrived, and all the assets of both families and their business were lost. Only if they had had some type of protection, corporations, limited partnerships, and trusts. Well, they just had a handshake that ended in disaster. There are thousands more such cases. You never need to be another one. Probate. Let's look at probate costs and estate costs. They are extremely time-consuming. The average probate runs between 18 and 24 months. They're very costly. Probate and estate taxes can consume more than 50% of the inherited estate. Through probate, everything becomes public information. Some companies and individuals prey upon people who must sell within a short time frame to satisfy probate and estate taxes. These scavengers buy for pennies on the dollar. Most people do not call for protection strategies. Most people do not call. What do you say? Most people do not call for protection strategies until they are in a disaster-prone situation. Most people do not call for protection strategies until they are in a disaster-prone situation. Don't let it be too late to do something about your financial structure to protect your assets for you and your heirs. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Let's look at probate costs and estate taxes. They're extremely time-consuming. The average probate runs 18 to 24 months. They are very costly. Probate and estate taxes can consume more than 50% of the inherited estate. Through probate, everything becomes public information. Some companies and individuals prey upon people who must sell within a short time frame to satisfy probate and estate taxes. These scavengers buy for pennies on the dollar. Most people do not call for the protection strategies until they are in a disaster-prone situation. So that's kind of like a little thing. He's telling you, if you were a Someone who, real estate, some companies and individuals prey upon people who must sell within a short time frame to satisfy probate and estate taxes. I don't know what probate is. Most people do not call for protection, until they're in a bad situation. Don't let it be too late to do something about your financial structure to protect your assets for you and your heirs. Double lines of defense, the flaming arrows of lawsuits. Probate costs and excess taxation are always pointed at personal and business assets today. Personal and business assets. People have to form a double line of defense to survive these flaming arrows in our society. The first line of defense is the corporation. If there is an attack on the corporation, then you need a second line of defense to protect all your assets. You can form additional corporations, limited partnerships, various types of trusts, foundations, and limited liability companies, for example, to protect specific assets. These help prevent the flaming arrows from igniting your assets. Flaming arrows of lawsuits. The first line of defense is the corporation. If there's an attack on the corporation, then you need a second line of defense to protect all your assets. What are limited partnerships? Various types of trusts. And limited liability companies, for example, to protect specific assets. These help prevent the flaming arrows from igniting your assets. Protection despite loss. A major developer and builder from Los Angeles had to file bankruptcy when the real estate market plummeted. A major developer and builder from Los Angeles had to file bankruptcy when the real estate market plummeted. The multi-million-dollar corporation lost everything it had. Fortunately, the owners had established a children's trust, which was worth more than $1 million. This multi-million-dollar corporation lost everything it had. Fortunately, the owners had established a children's trust, which was worth more than $1 million. So that just means the money they were making from the other corporation, they were putting it into that, which was like a bank account. The corporation had been leasing equipment over a long period of time for the children's trust. Or the corporation had been leasing protection despite loss. The corporation had been leasing equipment over a long period of time from the children's trust. The corporation had been leasing equipment over a long period of time from the children's trust. What kind of equipment? The money kept growing. We've been leasing equipment. A major developer and builder, so they're making money through that corporation, but leasing equipment over a long period of time from the children's. The money kept growing. The company was able to start all over again with a loan from the children's trust because it was a totally separate entity from the corporation. The trust was protected. The owners had a pretty good place from which to start, didn't they? With smart business planning, you can too. They were still doing work, you know. They were still doing work, like they were still offering some sort of assistance. They might have not had work, but they had equipment that they were leasing out, I guess. So they had some value, you know. The principles you will learn in this book include: number 1, how to position yourself in today's society so you can take advantage of change and not be downtrodden by it. 2, the most effective ways of running your business and how to take advantage of the tax code so you can slash your taxes by as much as 70%. Number 3, how to create a corporate strategy that will take advantage of the Nevada corporate structure. How to create a corporate strategy that will take advantage of the Nevada corporate structure. 4, how to be the CEO and president of your corporation and run it effectively and legally. 5, how to set up a simple accounting system and keep financial records correctly. 6, how to protect your assets now and for a secure future. Number 7, how to create financial freedom for yourself and your family. Yes, these 7 how-tos give you the freedom you want, need, and deserve when implemented. They give you freedom immediately in your life and business. You think so? Yes, these 7 how-tos. I already forgot the 7. I'm just reading for you guys, all right? You guys can rewind it. 7, how to create financial freedom for yourself and your family. Yes, these 7 how-tos give you the freedom you want, need, and deserve. I'm just faded, man. I hate anxiety, man. When implemented, they give you freedom and immediately in your life and business. So knowing financial strategy is going to give me freedom. You may never have considered being the president of your own company, or you may have already been the president and wondering, what else can you do to get ahead? The answers lie within the pages of this book. It's taken us over 2 years to write this book, as well as the combined wisdom of the authors, totaling more than 23 years of higher education in their respective fields and 120 years of real-world experience and application. But most important, this book gives you the simple facts of how you can do what you need to, simply and easily, I promise to you. Once you've implemented the changes revealed in this book, you will have control of your business, because it will reflect your personal wishes. Because before you close this book, you will be forced to come to certain conclusions about your ongoing relationship with money, about your success in your own personal power, about your own ability to make changes in your life, about how you can produce the kinds of results you have or you want to have. These conclusions will create within you an overwhelming desire to learn more and continue these successes. Continue to set goals, continue to aim for higher outcomes, produce power in your life that enables you to take giant leaps forward with confidence and conviction. By allowing this book to move you this way, you will have control over your business and your life, which will enhance and develop all your personal wishes. You'll experience personal freedom for you and for your family. It is our pleasure to present this vitally important information to you and share in helping you express your freedom to be successful, to live at peace, to prosper and protect your assets now and for future generations to come. If you have questions, call 1-800-254-5779 or email us at corpinfo@sageintl.com. Much success to contributing authors C.W. Allen, President, Sage International Incorporation. Cheri S. Hill, Senior Vice President, Sage International Inc. Diane Kennedy, CPA, Garrett Sutton, ESQ, Sutton Law Center. Is that Esquire? I don't know. That was the end of the intro.